My love, if you're hearing my voice, the wait is finally over. For so long, we were only dreams, only words, only promises across the distance. But today, everything changes. One final journey, one final heartbeat, one unforgettable meeting. I don't know if you'll smile, or cry, or simply stand there in silence. But I know this: the moment our eyes finally meet, nothing will ever be the same again. Stay with me, because this isn't just our first meeting, it's the beginning of the story destiny has been writing all along. My love, finally, today the waiting ends after months. Screens once separated, us keeping faces hidden behind glowing pixels arranged carefully. Now distance dissolves, completely arriving soon. Tomorrow brings something real, tangible, solid, nothing imagined anymore. Hands trembling slightly, writing this excitement builds steadily inside, months apart, finally, crystallizing into something concrete happening genuinely soon. Conversations began nervously, excited yet uncertain. Strangers connecting unexpectedly across continents, bridging through messages exchanged quietly during late nights, early mornings stolen, moments squeezed between busy schedules, different time zones made everything complicated yet worthwhile. Always, whenever you replied, my entire day brightened suddenly, transformed by simple texts carrying warmth, digitally translated yet somehow remaining genuine. Undeniable learning happened, gradually through words, first through stories, shared without typical hesitation. Strangers usually maintain initially openness, arrived quickly between us, sharing dreams, fears, ordinary, extraordinary. Pieces of yourself falling happened slowly, steadily, without realizing anything until suddenly, recognizing depth accumulated quietly across countless patient conversations exchanged carefully despite impossible distance separating bodies, though never separating hearts, somehow connecting regardless physical miles stretching wide between voices memorized through countless phone calls, stretching late nights, neither wanting hanging up first reluctantly, saying goodnight eventually, exhaustion finally winning over conversation, neither ready ending laughter, specific musical quality, unlike anyone else's, sound previously encountered, excitement expressed through rapid, enthusiastic speech, patterns increasing whenever discussing topics genuinely, passionate about something, beautiful that passion, translated even through cables connecting distant points, artificially bridging what reality couldn't naturally accomplish itself. Close, chosen deliberately, wanting, making good. Impressions, though, honestly, cameras already revealed everything genuine, unguarded. Yet meeting physically feels different somehow. More significant, more substantial than glowing rectangles ever managed. Capturing nervousness genuinely. Bubbling, though, feels excited, rather anxious. Anticipation building toward wonderful outcomes, rather. dreading uncertain ones, trust remains complete regarding what we've built, remotely translating seamlessly into physical closeness finally arriving, picture forming repeatedly, seeing you standing somewhere familiar yet entirely new context, surrounding bodies, present, together breathing, matching, air sharing space, simultaneously rather than connected merely through signals, traveling satellites, eyes meeting directly, unfiltered, raw, genuine, contact possible finally. After watching pixelated approximations through cameras, never quite capturing reality present within, actual closeness, fingers reaching toward yours, tangible, warm, real, skin rather imagined, sensations, screens transmitted, poorly actual touch, actual warmth, actual connection beyond words, beyond messages, beyond everything digital previously, sustained things across continents, grateful technology, allowed beginnings despite physical separation, grateful. Talks flowed naturally, regardless miles between, connection deepened genuinely, despite obvious limits inherent within distance. Relationships require gratitude, now transforms anticipation, something more completing whatever began digitally, becoming physically real, tangible, undeniable thoughts. Drift toward first, hello, arriving soon, different entirely from every digital greeting previously exchanged, carrying weight, significance, representing months building toward exactly one moment, countless imagined versions, played repeatedly within mind, anticipating various scenarios, various reactions, various emotions accompanying powerful instant recognition, happening physically rather than through mediation, wondering whether scent matches imagination, wondering whether laughter sounds identical without distortion, wondering whether embraces feel exactly like restless nights dreamed, repeatedly imagining reunion, approaching faith remains, steady everything connecting, digitally translates beautifully, because bonds aren't created merely through proximity, bonds exist already deeply rooted, requiring only space, allowing fuller expression, previously constrained limitations, finally dissolving completely, gifts packed thoughtfully, chosen representing things, mentioned loving during earlier conversations, small details remembered carefully, proving genuine attention, paid consistently regardless, physical separation temporary, wanting, showing everything, remote words couldn't fully express showing through actions, through presence, through gestures, previously impossible, delivering, remotely wanting, holding, hands while walking, somewhere together, simply existing alongside each other, completely present, without mediation, wanting, cooking something simple, laughing while figuring, kitchen logistics, neither perfecting immediately, wanting, comfortable, silence testing, whether quiet feels natural present rather than requiring constant feeling, additional talking, trusting completely. It'll feel natural because bonds already felt genuine despite distance, separating physical bodies, closeness transcended physical, limitations already proving substance beneath surface, level interactions typical, relationships beginning superficially, ours began differently, through vulnerability, through honesty, through genuine curiosity about actual selves rather curated. Presentations meant impressing. Foundations give confidence. Ahead, everything built remains solid regardless. New context surrounding, counting hours rather than days each, passing minute, bringing closer toward seeing you genuinely standing there, real, undeniable, picturing running toward you, maybe, or perhaps walking slowly, savoring approach, letting anticipation build further, before embracing fully. Either way, moments arrive carrying everything, built remotely, finding physical expression genuinely, ready, completely love, ready meeting properly, ready beginning whatever comes next together, physically present rather, separated through screens, ready discovering whether beauty between us translates seamlessly, believing completely it will, because what connects isn't dependent screens. Distance instead depends upon something deeper, genuine, built through patience, honesty, choosing repeatedly despite obstacles, distance presented throughout, journey reaching exactly this singular moment, waiting truly ends. Today, love, everything hoped, imagined, dreamed, finally becomes real. Heart meeting heart, face meeting face, airport doors opened, slowly crowds shifted, backward, forward, searching, faces among strangers, luggage rattled past, nervous travelers reuniting families, embraced loudly nearby. Children ran toward waiting grandparents' arms outstretched joyfully somewhere. Within that chaos stood someone scanning every approaching figure, heartbeat quickening rapidly, palms sweating slightly, breath catching unexpectedly. Then suddenly there you stood exactly where promised, waiting, patiently scanning crowds, identically searching desperately. Recognition struck instantly, eyes looking finally. Across crowded terminal, everything around blurred, sound disappeared momentarily. Only your face remained sharp, clear, undeniably present finally. Legs moved automatically, crossing remaining distance, quickly without thinking, consciously about steps. Taken arms opened, wide receiving completely, embracing tightly finally, holding what months promised eventually arriving. Tears formed unexpectedly, joyful, overwhelming relief, flooding through chest, cheek pressed against shoulder, breathing deeply, inhaling scent finally, matching imagination perfectly, warm, familiar, comforting, exactly how dreamed, voice whispered softly, near my ear, finally together properly, words barely escaping. Throat tightened emotionally, nodding instead speaking, felt entirely unnecessary. Presence communicated everything. Language couldn't manage. Strangers walked past, unaware, witnessing something significant unfolding quietly. Months collapsed instantly into a single moment, worth every uncertain mile separating previously, pulling back slightly, studying your face, closely memorizing details, cameras never captured, properly small freckles scattered across cheeks, genuine warmth radiating naturally without filters, adjusting lighting angles, improving anything artificially, simply authentic, beautiful, standing right there, smiling brighter than any screen managed, displaying previously hands found each other naturally, fingers intertwining comfortably like practiced, movement repeated countless times despite happening, physically first occasion, walking toward exit together, neither rushing, savoring slow steps, allowing reality settling gradually within consciousness. Outside weather felt different somehow, brighter, crisper, more vivid. Colors appeared saturated. Beyond ordinary perception, everything heightened, sharpened, joy amplifying senses. Beyond typical baseline, awareness car ride, past quickly conversation, flowing exactly same, comfortable rhythm established, previously through calls, proving connection translated, seamlessly across mediums. Nothing felt forced, nothing felt awkward, despite first physical meeting silence occasionally. Settled comfortably between sentences, neither requiring constant filling, proving genuine ease existed. Beyond initial nervousness, reaching destination together, stepping inside somewhere chosen carefully beforehand, quiet, intimate space, allowing genuine connection, deepen without distractions, sitting across small table, watching expressions shift, naturally responding authentically without delay. Typical messaging required, immediate reactions visible, instantly across features, laughing together genuinely, sound filling room, completely different hearing, laughter live unrecorded, unedited completely, raw, reaching toward hands, resting nearby, touching, fingertips gently testing whether boundaries existed, none remained comfortable, closeness established quickly, trust built remotely, translating instantly, physically. Evening progressed slowly, neither watching clocks anxiously, time felt different altogether expanded, somehow generous, unlimited. Finally, walking somewhere outside afterward, streetlights, illuminated path ahead, quietly sidestepping, closer naturally shoulders, brushing, occasionally, accidentally, intentionally hard, distinguishing, stopping somewhere quiet, facing each other, completely no screens, no cameras, no pixels mediating anything between us anymore. Hand reached toward cheek, gently cupping, warmth lingering there, forehead resting against forehead, breathing synchronized, naturally without effort, required whispered words, finally exchanged honestly, without screens between, confessions spoken directly, carrying weight impossible, replicating through text, promises made quietly, beneath streetlight glow, witnessed only stars, scattered overhead distantly, watching silently approvingly. Perhaps everything previously imagined fell short, compared exactly happening. Reality exceeded expectations, significantly beyond hoped. Outcomes ever predicted, accurately, months separated, couldn't diminish chemistry. Existing naturally between two people meant finding each other, regardless circumstances, initially, separating bodies, hearts, already understood something. Minds took longer, accepting walking back, eventually toward car, neither letting go. Completely hands remained, connected throughout drive, returning somewhere temporary, lodging arranged carefully, beforehand ensuring comfort, privacy, appropriate boundaries, respected mutually throughout. Visit conversation continued, naturally extending late into night, neither tired despite exhausting, travel preceding everything, adrenaline, excitement overriding, physical fatigue entirely. Morning arrived gently, sunlight streaming through, curtains illuminating peaceful, scene unfolding quietly, waking beside someone, previously known only through glowing rectangles, felt surreal, wonderful, simultaneously reaching toward. Phone became unnecessary, habit reaching instead toward actual person, present beside me, breakfast prepared together, clumsily figuring unfamiliar kitchen layout, laughing frequently throughout process. Mundane tasks felt extraordinary simply because shared physically. Finally, days passed quickly, Phil discovering preferences previously unknown despite months talking how you actually move through spaces gesture while explaining things, particular walk pace maintained while strolling together, specific way, coffee gets ordered without hesitation, knowing exactly preferences, these small physical details, completed picture previously, existing only partially. Through digital interaction, evenings brought deeper conversations, vulnerability increasing, naturally proximity encouraging, honesty previously protected, carefully behind screens, fears shared openly, hopes expressed clearly, future discussed tentatively, yet hopefully neither, avoiding difficult questions regarding logistics ahead, practical concerns addressed honestly rather avoided, entirely real connection requires real conversations, including uncomfortable, necessary ones, determining whether distance remains permanent. Obstacle, temporary circumstance, navigated together patiently, walking through markets, together hand holding, naturally became routine. Quickly, strangers glanced, occasionally noticing obvious happiness radiating visibly. Between two people, clearly belonging together. Photographs taken constantly, documenting everything previously. Only imagine now existing tangibly captured, permanently within memory. Cards proof eventually. This visit ending, required becomes inevitable. Reality neither wanted acknowledging directly yet existed quietly beneath. Joyful surface awareness. Time remained limited, despite feeling boundless. Currently, final evening arrived faster than anticipated bittersweet emotions, mixing gratitude alongside approaching sadness, departure, looming despite everything. Beautiful experience together, sitting quietly afterward, wrapped comfortably together, discussing honestly what happens moving forward. Promises exchanged seriously. This time, grounded. Reality rather fantasy. Plans forming concretely regarding next visit, regarding eventual permanence, regarding building something lasting beyond the temporary visits eventually closing. Distance permanently somehow, whatever path required, achieving that goal, worth pursuing fully. Morning departure arrived, eventually unavoidable airport. Goodbye felt different than original hello, heavier yet hopeful, simultaneously knowing separation remained temporary now. Proven reunion possible. Tears fell again. Different reasons entirely. Grief mixed alongside. Genuine confidence regarding future together, embracing tightly before separation. Required final words. Whispered promising returning. Soon promising staying. Connected throughout abse.